Welcome back into the Ohio MMA podcast. I am your host, David McKinney. Joining me on today's episode, Antonio Castillo Jr. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you been?
I've been good, man. Busy. End of the year, but you're gonna sneak one more fight in before the year is out. Maybe try to get yourself a little early Christmas present. You're returning to the cage at Cage Thunder 29 against Dusty Shaffer. So first off, man, it's your first fight back in I guess your adopted hometown of Canton in a long time. What's it like to be able to be back fighting in Canton at the Canton Civic Center?
Man, I really can't tell you. It's been 10 years exactly. So I haven't fought out here in 10 years. I think last time would have been like driven, maybe driven. I can't remember, but it's been a grip. So I know it was exactly around 10 years. So it's definitely a different atmosphere now because I've had some time to like foundate myself out here. Back when like I fought out here for NAFs, it was I just got out here. I'm kind of new. I had a decent following from out here, but now I got 13 years out here now. So I've got a huge fan base out here, plus my fan base back home. So it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and you were fighting a young up and comer, man. I feel like this was when this was announced. I was really interested and intrigued me a lot. Fighting Dusty Shaffer, who is he's 2-1 on his pro career, just turned pro earlier this year. What's the motivation to go out there and fight a young guy who has three fights and he's a super tough and scrappy guy and it's a really interesting matchup between you two.
To be honest with you, I'm doing now in the past like 2 years what I didn't do in the beginning of my career, which was just play my position. I'm here at the running back. I'm supposed to grind out these yards and score touchdowns. My wife chooses who I fight. So when I don't get involved in that, hey, I want to take this fight because it's way up there, um, my road has gone good. And when I kind of veer off on my own, like let's take this fight, it just hasn't worked out as well. So I've stepped back from her position and let her do her job. Let's face it, man. Like at the end of the day, I've been with her for 13 years ever since I moved out here. So I moved out here for her. Not only just the relationship that we had, but her knowledge of the game. So she's one of the best in the biz. And I got lucky to get her. So when I sit back and do my job, let her do her job, uh, it turns out good for me. This one in particular, for real, it came about because I need numbers. I need dubs. I don't need no more names. I got a whole jacket full of names. Now it doesn't matter. I'm ranked number one. I've never lost that spot. I don't care what they did for the little month or whatever, how that happened. But I've held the number one spot here in Ohio for the majority of 2 years. I'm the number one featherweight out here, and although it didn't matter when I first started and moved out here, the numbers don't didn't matter then. Now the numbers do. That number one next to your name means something. So I take it personal, and like I said, I just kind of stepped back, and when this came into play, hey, if it's on the table, what I mean, we can't play with our food. We gotta go eat.
Yeah. And you mentioned your wife, Nicole Castillo, matchmaker, manager, and of course you're a fighter, and you have your own gym. So you guys are, I mean, your life is MMA and fighting. What's that like being so close to cage fighting and to MMA and to every aspect of it? Where I think every show I go to, I see you there. But what's it like being so close and so tight knit and specifically in the Ohio MMA community?
It's been a ride, and like I said, I moved out here 13 years ago, had no idea what I was in for. From training to the fight world to a relationship, managing a relationship and a family inside. So, like you said, it's so deep in the fight game. I'm a fighter. I've been doing this 15 years. She's got 11 years on me age wise and 15 years in the game before me. So it's like, yeah, I'm watching my son come up now, and it's like, ooh, uh, keep those straight A's, do something else. If you want to come do this, I'm good with it because it's in your blood. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this lifestyle is a grind. It's not for your average bear. It's not for um, the guy who maybe thinks he wants to do this. This sport fell into my lap when it did. I was living a whole different life. And when it fell in my lap, I kind of just ran with it. Took her advice at my fourth amateur fight. She was like, "You can make it, but let me know when you get serious." And I went 15-0 as an amateur, went 2-4 as a pro. That's when it got serious to me. So I made the move, and really, like I said, didn't know what I was in for. Um, my body, my car has kept me in the game. Um, this wasn't there. Now it's there now. So maturity, you can't rush. I needed every single one of those fights. I needed all of those fights. I needed to see like her side of the biz. I try to stay away from it, but it's hard to when she's sitting next to me on the couch. She's like, "Fuck this motherfucker, blah blah blah." You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm gonna watch cartoons here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. And then you get into like, all right, we're supposed to be relaxing, chilling on the weekend, watching these fights. And she's like, "Oh, this person, this." And I was like, "Oh, you're crazy. He's not going to touch her." You know what I'm saying? And then usually I'm wrong. So it's definitely it's a ride. You know what I mean? To see both sides of the world, both sides of the fence. Now having my son coming up, my daughter's back home. Both of them are showtimers. My daughter, my eldest, is can go Broadway if she wants to now. My youngest, who's a senior this year, can be the next rugby star. She's a monster, so my whole family grinds. But yeah, it's definitely been a ride, and I'm lucky to have had the tutelage of her, not just as a partner in life, but a partner in this grind. It's been nuts.
Yeah.
It's fun. I want to have it any other way, bro.
I always have been intrigued by your gym too. So you run your gym, Mayanz Fight Team, Mayanz Cartel, I think you call it now, but
Yeah.
it's at an undisclosed location in Ohio. It's invite only,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's always interested me like the types of fighters that you kind of bring under your wing and into your gym. It's fighters I feel like that have a lot of potential, but maybe don't have that direction. And I feel like almost that kind of is like what you were like early in your career, where you're like, man, you just need the direction. Like I think, for example, Daniel Castro, who I watched his first two fights, and I'm like, man, he's a wild guy, but get him a little bit of tutelage, like under
No,
Tony, and man,
I feel it, bro. I
he's
feel it.
out there.
Listen. I didn't do well. I didn't do well with the title fights when I was coming up. You know what I mean? I had a shit ton, but I didn't do well. My guys are doing well in the title fights. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I watched that fight. He's such a interesting 20 years old, so aggressive as a fighter, but has the control and the poise too. And you're like, man, he's going to be a scary guy. But tell me about the gym. Like, what's the gym like? What's it like in there? And kind of how do you go through that process of like, man, how do you find fighters? Do they come to you? Do you approach guys? What's that like?
So, when we first started the team, it was about 11, 12 years ago. I think about a year or two after I got out here. And I was making all these trips to Chicago, going 10 months out there. And my wife's like, "Look, that's all good, but like, we're losing here." You know what I mean? So that's when I started the team. She's like, "You're good enough to run a team." The difference between a gym and a team is what I merged to. Over the years, that's when I started the team, my team went 30-4. And I started my 9-fight losing streak when I got the team. Because I had big numbers, we had a big nice facility, scaled back a little bit to the fighter house, started there, had a nice group of 10 to 15 guys, and it was great. We're winning it all, producing a lot of tools. One of my biggest proteges from the ground up was Demonte Robinson. like we've gone through our career, and where he's gone, and it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, but I still talk to him to this day. Gave him his belt back because it's respect. And then I was coming up in the early age to where it's a different ball game then. We're slanging and banging out there, not really knowing, and really knowing how to train. And I picked up a lot of things over the years on how to train guys. So when the COVID hit, that's what really changed everything. My son's asthmatic, so he's got a compromised immune system. And my wife's like, listen, the sports won't shut down, bro. Like, nobody's fighting, nobody's training. Like, if you want to train, you got to go back to the farm. You got to seclude yourself. You got to train by yourself. So that's when I went back to the farm. I scaled back, and it was just me there training through the whole COVID. I fought 3 times in the COVID. And when we came back and it was time to come back, I was like, you know what? That's what I want. I want a little facility with just enough room to train to where I can house some guys that are 19, 20 years old that think they want to do this, that come from tough areas, maybe a little broken homes or tough upbringings, that exactly like you said, maybe a little bit lost, no guidance, um, have a shit ton of potential, but just don't have the direction to go in there. So between my wife and I don't really have a dream of running a gym. I only had one goal and one dream, and that was to get out of the lifestyle I was in and make a new life for myself, and I've done it. So now that we got the camp, we scaled back. I got a house, fighter house upstairs, gym downstairs. Everything's right at our reach to where we have really good sponsor team that support us, and it's literally like the Ninja Turtles. We got a sewer. They're not gonna find out where it's at. And the only way we can accept more turtles is if you're like us. If you're not like us, well, you can come train, but you're probably not gonna click with us. So MMA has always been a clicky game. Even when I was looking to where I wanted to train and going out to like American Top Team in Florida, went to the Black Zillions. The Black Zillions, the way they ran theirs, they train here. This is Jocko Training Center, but the Black Zillions train here. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So that's kind of what we developed here. And between me and my wife, we know how to develop guys from a young age now, because I got the fight lifestyle of the grind and what it takes to build a guy. She's got all the toology and knowledge to how to brand a guy. So that little mix right there is a really good. It can cook up some good fighters, man. And I've been blessed with the entire journey of the Mayans, being over a decade now. The product that we get out here is it's top of the line. I mean, my guys fight tough guys. We take fights on short notice because we're always ready. And my group, if they have to deal with me every day, I know they can deal with anybody else. So
Yeah.
it works hand in hand. It's good, man.
What'd you feel about when I know you got thrown into it, I think last minute, but what'd you think about doing commentary for the fights? I think you did it at the Penguin City show
It was cool.
um
It
a
was
couple
fun. It
months
was a
ago.
different. It was different. You know what I mean? I like talking about fighting. That's all I do, all day long, 24/7. It's all I engulfed my life in it when it fell into my lap. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was a sign from God, and I took it and ran with it. So being able to now come back and not only coach, but most of these fights, like half of them show up with not knowing how to wrap hands. You know what I mean? So that's something I do now. So like before, I wouldn't do that. I was like, oh man, don't put me to work if I don't have to work. And then I was like, you know what? I'm good at wrapping hands. Go ahead, tell them I'll be right here. Tell them charge this much, but then I don't ever take money at all. I never do. Anytime, like I'm just like, no, it's good, bro. I'll wrap you up. It's good. It's how I get back to the fight community. Same thing like coaching wrestling. It's how I get back to the wrestling community that gave me a life. So it's fun. I like commentating. I like getting on guys like yourself and getting on there with guys like Jarrell Hodge or my boy Chris McKinney. If I can get on there and just talk fights with them, that's awesome. I love it. and I
Yeah.
get to promote my sponsors at the same time, so it's good.
I would say you watch a fight when you're commentating in a different way, right? I'm like zoned in and then I'm calling the action but then afterwards I'm like I got to rewatch the fights cuz I don't remember anything that happened.
Yeah,
Because you're so zoned in and you're like, "Man, I'm in the moment." And like I don't think about anything else for that whole like time period, right? And then you're like people are like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know." That's why I
it's
started trying to take
definitely not
notes
easy.
or going back. Yeah.
It's a skill for sure, because calling a fight and commentating a fight are two different things. Like,
Yeah.
it's very hard. I give commentators a lot of respect when they do it good and they do it well. And that's why what's her name in the UFC got so much clout, Laura Sacco, because
Yeah.
she called the fight so that if I wasn't watching, you would know what's going on. And that's not easy. That's not
Right.
easy, because a lot of times, yeah, you get in the mix of the fight, and you're like, oh, 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 and you're like, I mean, he threw this combo, so it's fun, bro.
Yeah.
It's been cool to get into that part of the game too.
Yeah, I feel like now you're 37 and you made your debut and I had to look because I think I was actually at your debut all the way back in 2010. And you've been fighting it was your debut was at a purgatory show and I think I was there. Um your pro debut I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
now you're 37, you're on a two-fight win streak in MMA. And what's the motivation to keep going? How long do you think you're going to keep going? What's the like, man, I got to get this before I'm done or what do you feel like you have left to prove?
it's one of those things where I'm the car was always good. This wasn't always there. Now that this is there, I've fortunately enough trained good to where my body only the one break with on the ankle with Jericho. Probably including in the gym, only been knocked out about 5 times in the entire career. So my brain's together. All my medicals come back clear. I'm really healthy, but you have to have this. So I feel like I never peaked. I never primed. I feel like this is the best me I'm gonna get out of my shelf life. Age is just a number. And when I fought for Dana White, when I fought Chris Matuno, it was 11 days after the Tobias fight. Bro, I know you've seen that fight.
Yeah.
I, let's keep it all 100. Tobias knocked me the fuck out 4 or 5 times in round one. Like, I was completely concussed. I had to recharge myself in that second round to get to the game plan how we're gonna win this fight. So, and we did it. So I'm still dizzy 12 days after that fight, bro. But I'm not going to say no to that. We're going to take the shot. And long story short, it went how it went. And I talked to him at the end of the night. I was like, 2 o'clock in the morning type. I'm pulling it. He came away from a group of reporters, like, found me, like, oh, yeah, let me go talk to him because I need to get the fuck away from these guys. And he was like, we had our little FaceTime, and he's like, listen, how old are you? I'm like, 37. He's like, well, you know as well that I do. I'm not looking to hire no 35-year-old fighters. He was like, but you got a lot of season to you. And he was like, if you put your head down and go to work, I'm sure I'll see your name across my desk again. Since then, win streaks there, been number one, held that spot. Really haven't fumbled the ball. I mean, it was a close, controversial hometown fight with Piper. I mean, it could have gone either way. Otherwise, like, I feel like I'm in my prime right now. I could turn away right now and go make 70 plus in BKB. I can go to boxing right now and jump on a Don King card and make 75 plus all day right now. But I started in MMA. I love MMA. I'm a wrestler at heart, so I feel like I want to give my MMA run the full shot. I've had more shots than probably anybody in the game just because of my manager. Like, there's no way that somebody stays on that level and puts those losses together. So I'm not here by accident.
Yeah.
And I didn't meet her by accident. So I trust in his process. That's it. So if he's kept me in this game right here in the limelight, and now, like you said, at 37, I'm ranked number one, and that number one spot does mean shit now. I roll with it, and I run it till the wheels fall off. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the wheels are far from falling off. My body's together. And now that I have this, it's been cool to train like that because it's different. It's a different grind. It's still hard as fuck, but it's a different grind. It's more ice baths. It's more miles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more attention to my body in those times. The sparring rounds, they're still there. We just only do so many a week. So it's just a different level in life as a whole. Like I said, I have a great team, great support system with sponsors. My wife's the best manager in the game. Like, I feel like this is my prime time. So
Yeah.
this is probably the best me you're gonna get.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm on the same side of 35 as you, and I don't even fight, and I gotta take care of myself too when I'm lifting or when I'm running. I'm like, man, it's
For sure.
a lot more recovery time. But I got two more things to ask you. One, the I've been around the sport for a long time on a local scene, and there's been two times in the sport where I'm like,
Mm.
the crowd has just been the craziest atmosphere that I've ever seen. Number one was the Cody Garbrandt and Don Mazzata fight because there was so much heat behind that, and it was just wild. And number two, very very close, was you and Frank Caraballo, the first first fight. I don't know that I've ever seen more bad blood,
Mm.
more fired up fight, just the chaos surrounding that fight, man. Um, and I know it seems like it's I don't know the whole. It seems like it's buried now because you guys have fought a couple times, but the leading up to that, man, what was that? Was that like a was it real? Was it? I'm trying to sell a fight. Tell me that was crazy, man.
No,
The whole background was just crazy.
yeah, no. The first Frank fight, that was 100% organically generated, bro. That was a Mexican Puerto Rican thing. It's never really been done at that level. Um, and it got heated quick. Plus, like I said, back then, I used my mouth. I used my mouth a lot to get my fights. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. I got a title fight. I should have listened to her though. She said, "No, dog, you ain't ready for this guy. You ain't." She told me, and that's how you know I never lied to just hang out with people. No, she told me straight up, "You don't want this fight right now." Rightfully so, because my mind wasn't there. I was just in the fight, lost in the fire. So something like that, organically generated, yeah, there's nothing like that. That's still the best fight today. I fought on the UFC Fight Pass for a world title before. That wasn't shit. Being in the cage that night with the crowd rocking, dude, we were moving. The cage was shaking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was definitely some out of this world feeling. You know what I'm saying? But still, the fight to date that I want back, and I felt like had almost the same amount of energy as the Khama fight.
Yeah, I
It's
was gonna ask you about
because yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't have a lot of fights that eat at me at all. They're just all experiences now. You know what I'm saying. But that's one of them that was like, oh, dog, you came unlocked, man. Come on, man. You can't do
yeah,
that. You got to fight 3 rounds, you know? So it was one of those, you came unlocked for 1 second and you stuck your ass right there. Yep, that's what
yeah,
you needed. So, but it was good. It's a learning experience. And like I said, it's cool now to now be in my journey in this stage. And in these different parts of the stage along the journey, I've watched these fights and felt a certain way every time. This time, when I watch these fights, it's like, oh, the new me does this. The new me does this. The new me does this. And then none of these guys have really a chance against me.
yeah.
So it's cool to watch that shit.
Yeah, that was exactly the other thing I was going to ask you about the fight with Kama, and the three fight run of you fighting Kama in Pittsburgh, and then you fought Julian Lane, and then Mark Cherico, which unfortunately the Cherico was the injury, but man, the going into enemy territory, I feel like I got so much respect for you in that just like knowing that you're going to be going in there against such a hostile crowd. And those pinnacle shows, man, were some of the best shows I think
Oh
anyone
yeah,
ever put on. And I mean, you know who the matchmaker was at that time,
yeah,
but
no, for
yeah,
sure.
but the just the energy, man, I feel like that has been around so many of your fights. Like I said, I was just going back through looking, and I think that Khama fight is on YouTube. That
Yeah,
was the wildest fight, man. I don't know
oh
how
for
that
sure.
honestly didn't get stopped in the first 2 rounds, and then
Uh,
Khama comes back, and it's like, oh man, like just the you were, I mean, the domination. I know that Khama's still out there fighting, man. He's doing
yeah, he
karate
just landed
combat,
the
so
yeah, I just
yeah,
seen that. That's good for him, man. That's good. Like
maybe
I
maybe
said,
you'll get
it's
it
not
back.
one of those things. It's just one of those things to where it's like, yeah, out of the whole list, I'll take that one back.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. That was just such a like I said, the energy in so many of those fights, just going back and looking at them. But yeah, man, it's been such a great career, and I know you're not done. I'm not trying to say that it's in the past, but you've had such a great and memorable career, and I think that that's one of the things too that has always impressed me about you is early in your career you as you said you knew how to sell a fight. You had a little bit of that Conor McGregor, and you're like, man, I'm a trash talk people and get my way into these fights, and now seeing you as a fighter and the maturity and just the way that you've continued to evolve is not very many fighters do that, man. So mad respect to you.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, so
I appreciate.
anybody you got to thank, mention it. You got a bunch of sponsors, your gym, your team, all that fun stuff.
No, man, just the whole group, bro. My team, all the rounds you guys give me every day, I appreciate it, and my huge support system with my sponsors. Everybody puts in to bring the whole thing together, and obviously my wife, my manager, she's the backbone behind everything, you know. So it's like I said, it's been a journey. I feel like right now is my time to go get another one started. I feel like I've done everything I could out here in this local scene. So I finally got the maturity, got the season, and I'm ready to go. So it's gonna be nice to fight in my hometown. I got a big fan base coming out from back home and right here in the city in Cannes. So it's gonna be good. Like I said, I hope everybody hits my QR and go gets me them ticket sales because I know we're doing well. Right now, they just told me last night that like my QR is the number one hit link for the whole card. So I'm happy with that, and I'm blessed to have it. So I feel like we're in a good spot, and I'm just ready to go.
Nice, Cage Center 29 co-main event. Antonio Castillo, the Mexican Muscle, back in action. First Ohio fight in a little over a year, so maybe not too many left in Ohio for you, but
Yeah,
Canton
well,
Civic Center,
I'm
yeah.
hoping this is the last one. Hoping I get to go out with a bang and sign a contract first of the year and go start a run out there.
All
So
right,
happens.
yeah. Well, I'll be watching the fight on the 21st, and yeah, man, thanks so much for joining me.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you again for having me.
All right, we'll be back next week with another episode.